Hello and welcome to a brand new video. I'm your host, AzuriteRabbit.
Hello.
And since in the Dragon Ball community, some time has passed ever since, what the name was? Mother's Basement made a video about Dragon Ball called Let Goku Die. I haven't watched that video ever since the old debacle that went down on Twitter, but I'm really curious. I still haven't seen it and I don't know, I kinda wanna watch it. So let's jump straight into it. Oh, also subscribe and ring the bell to not miss any single video. Forgot about that. Oops.
December 14th, 2022. The day Nothing Forever, an AI-generated, viewer-directed Seinfeld clone, began streaming on Twitch. And true to its name...
Oh yeah, I heard about this. Never seen it, but I heard about it.
Procedurally generated bigotry, which seems to happen a lot with AI stuff. Do not...
Damn, boy, it's thick! Holy shit!
Nothing.
Damn! That badonk-a-donk!
The day Earth lost her mightiest warrior, Son Goku, to an even mightier warrior from another
And
planet,
sexier.
who was
Oh,
his
sorry.
surprise older brother. Just in time to save the Earth from another, stronger evil Goku from space. Also, as it turned out, the aforementioned...
I mean, that's the whole premise of Dragon Ball. There's always someone who's
as was
stronger.
that less godly god.
But I think that goes like with
birthed
most
the
children.
Demon King asexually, like a fraud. So, when the Prince of all Gokus kills the reborn Demon King, but he's good now, that sets up an arc where they have to go to, plus beat up an evil space real estate tycoon and his evil wannabe Power Rangers. But that arc in...
And they're good Power Rangers, by the way. Don't discriminate and go and talk smack about the Game Force.
The time machine to deliver him some heart pills so all that wouldn't happen. Also, that guy was secretly the son of Shadow.
Yeah, I'll have the Shadow!
Also, that guy was secretly the son of Shadow the Goku, who's...
Shadow the Goku? Really? Bruh. But yes, speaking like this, it does sound like Dragon Ball did like a 360. It kind of does sound like that. I'll give him a point. The way he's presenting it, not really sure what's the point yet, but I understand why this sounds a little bit whack.
turned good now. Still, he was only staving
That's kind of interesting, to be
inevitable.
honest.
That time machine also inadvertently brought back a much bigger threat from the future, fusing in a different way, and the evil baby split up and fused a bunch of times. Then
Evil
small,
baby!
Then small.
That's GT,
The
bro.
small one was
Although he does act like a
And then
baby.
Goku saved
Boo does
the
like
day
it like a
by pressing
child.
the save
I'll
the
give
day
him
button
that.
he got in his small evil baby was reincarnated as a nice Indian guy who Goku got to fight in another world tournament, but also his now good
And this is mom,
half
by the
was
way.
still alive.
Your mother's so fat that cows moo at her! How dare you insult my mother!
And gay Mary-
Dude was ruthless to who?
It was at this point that series creator Akira Toriyama left the franchise over creative differences with Shueisha and Toei Animation.
Because again, that's like a company. Company always wants more. Even if the creator doesn't want to continue, the company that has, I guess, the property or the franchise in hand wants to milk it to the ground. So, yeah, Bandai, Shueisha, and whoever has the rights to Dragon Ball, they will try to not let that thing die. That's true. But I don't see it as inherently bad. So let's continue. But that's me.
An adult when he goes Super Saiyan, but fans still didn't like it, like, a lot. So after a year and a bit of trying and failing to make it work,
True. People didn't like Super Saiyan 4, which I understand. I didn't like it too in the beginning. Wow, shocker, I know. But when I saw Dragon Ball for like the first time-ish, I saw Super Saiyan 4, and I was just like, why is he pink or magenta? What does he look like that? That looks so weird. But then some years pass, and now I'm a Super Saiyan 4 simp, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
And again, I'm only talking about the structure, not, the quality of the writing, because that was pretty dog shit in GT. And still...
Yeah, GT only has like one or two good sagas, the rest is just not great.
Epilogue would have been. The story of Dragon Ball well and truly was. For a decade and a half or so, until some
Oh, not this movie! I never seen it, but I heard how
dug
bad
it back
it
up
is.
to do their thing, and the shock of seeing that thing was so great, it actually brought the creative spark back to Toriyama's eyes. Not nearly as
Yeah,
much.
it's like, dude is like, I give up. I don't want to do more Dragon Ball. Then they make this movie, and he's like, nope, nope, not gonna end it like this. Heck no. Let's make something new. Wow, just to think that that movie brought back everything. Kind of insane.
Introducing death gods to the Dragon Ball universe, bringing back Frieza, and reworking...
I never watched this one. I watched this one many times.
Universe has to fight all the same villains from those pretty good movies, but way, way slower this time. Plus, in between them...
Yeah, the beginning was horrible because just recapping the movies, and I think it was so necessary.
And Goku from the future, but he's evil now. And if you think that...
It's Turles number 2, okay? But that's the thing, I actually kinda like Super.
Oh, hell no!
Maybe not every single episode, of course, but in general terms, I did enjoy Super. Not the beginning. Beginning was very bad. I didn't like the recapping. I don't like when they recap things that they already made. Like, for example, right now in the Dragon Ball Super manga, they are recapping Dragon Ball Superhero. I think most people aren't really happy with that. The sales apparently haven't been that great. I mostly just read it to see Broly, and that's about it. So, let's just say retelling of already known story isn't usually the best idea. So, yeah, the beginning of Super is pretty bad. But after that, I think it was pretty good.
A series of 8-minute web-only gacha game commercials that's been running since DB Super ended, in which the franchise owners use the established plot devices of parallel universes and time travel to stage a
Yeah, like in Xenoverse as well, they do this.
series of wrestling matches, exactly 4 good things, totaling about 6 hours of runtime. When you look
For good things, Resurrection F?
Nani?
Okay, I guess, if you like it.
that have ever been produced are of Boo Saga quality or lower. As much as anything it's ever been, this is what Dragon Ball is now. Without an endpoint, without a clear reason for the character.
I mean, I think I understand his point, especially if you grew up with OG Dragon Ball. But like one of the... I don't know if it was producers, because we have Toriyama. Toriyama had a friend or someone who would assist him in writing stuff. And he suggested for Toriyama to create the tournament, because a lot of people kind of want to see that. And the reason why Dragon Ball keeps showing up is because people really like the fight scenes for some reason. I like it, to be honest, I kind of like it, although I prefer a little bit more of the slice of life part of Dragon Ball, because honestly the characters are very fun. I really like the Dragon Ball characters, they're so fun. And part of me kind of wish there was less fight scene and more focus on that aspect of Dragon Ball, but I have to remember that the majority of the community just loves the fight scenes. That's why Dragon Ball Heroes is also somewhat kind of popular, because people just want to see fighting, and the anime gives it that, just fighting everything and whatever. I mean, again, it's cool, but I personally just like Super Dragon Ball Heroes because of the timelines and stuff, like Xenoverse. For some reason, I'm really into that part of Dragon Ball. Not really sure why, but I really like it. So in that regard, I'm a bit biased. But the whole focus on fights, I understand why he is a bit annoyed at that, I guess. But we have to remember that, just like I said in the beginning, they just want to profit out of it, and the most profitable thing is fighting scenes.
Instead of helping us understand and overcome our own struggles by offering a new perspective on them, they become nothing but a mind-numbing distraction that traps us in repetitious ways of thinking and prevents us from doing anything about those problems, consuming ever more seconds of our precious and irreplaceable time on Earth.
That's the thing, I don't think that every anime should be like this, like having a message and things to overcome. Sometimes I just want to watch an anime and just see the art, just see the fight, just see those kind of things, you know. Of course, sometimes I want to watch an anime that can touch on more personal things, but sometimes I just want to see characters just duking it out for the sake of duking it out, you know.
In exchange for ever-dwindling returns, at most helping us get through it, but never over it. A story that never ends is a horrifying prospect indeed. Now, as a counterpoint to that, you might point to the...
That is bad if you don't like the franchise, because as someone who's been in several franchises, having a franchise that you love, never ending, in a way, it's kind of good, but I understand what he means because it starts losing the meaning, the characters, and everything starts to seem very washed. But part of me still would have preferred for the series to continue, even if it's dulled down, than just end right there. That's just my personal experience, it's just my personal thought. Let me know if you agree with me, or you are agreeing so far with the original video. Sometimes when I like something, you kind of don't want to let it die, because it means so much to you, and then you stop having that, and you just feel kind of hollow. And I got that with Super Dragon Ball Heroes, although a person really was against me on that video. It kind of seems that some characters in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes manga are going to part ways, and that left me a bit hollow because I like some of the characters there, okay? And seeing it end, I kind of don't really want to, because a lot of my franchises that I loved have ended to the point that they have nothing else, like no more merchandise or anything. So I really prefer for the franchise to even be dull, whatever he says, but continue, than to die down. But again, that's my personal experience and thoughts.
Widely, there's a comfort knowing you can flick on the TV at any point and the same old friends you've known for over a decade now will still be there. Until, inevitably, they're not. We like to think we come to anime to get away from that kind of cynical, repetitive corporate Hollywood bullshit for real stories that really mean something and don't coddle their audiences, but...
Depends. The anime in general, as he knows and majority of people know, it's so diverse that there are some series that never seem to end, while there are others that just go with one season and you just make that memory, and that's great. I just don't think that, you know, everything that we see has to end up so quickly. I do think that some shows can work for years to come, while there are others that just, you know, are just fit to be like one season or less, and that's completely fine. The thing is, Dragon Ball has just created something that can thrive for years to come, and I don't see that as a bad thing. Because if every show came to an end, I don't know, I think things would be or feel hollow, because then the show that you love no more is on the air and no one more cares about it. So you kind of feel alone, so you have to find something else to, you know, to watch and ease your mind, and this is a full loop. Again, going by my personal experiences, I understand what he's coming from, that we as humans need to learn to let things go and when to let things go. But I think we don't have to live in absolutes. I don't think that every anime that we see, or cartoon, or show, or whatever, needs to just be a few seasons or less and end. Because, again, you always have something to go back to that people can, you know, watch with you and relate to you. When something dies, people move on, and sometimes you end up being almost the only one that likes that show that has ended. And it feels pretty shitty. And in this case, real life is as creepy as it can be, and as years go on, it seems to become even worse than it already is. So having this place that we can, you know, just watch the show for the sake of watching without having real big moral debates and everything, it feels nice, you know, something meaningless and fun for a change, you know. But maybe I'm seeing too much, not understanding the full picture that your mother's basement is trying to make.
And the funny thing is, if you talk to someone who's already sunk months of their life into watching Dragon Ball or Naruto or The Simpsons or Family Guy about how good One Piece is, there's a good chance they'll tell you they just ain't got the time for it. And the argument that, no, it's actually building toward an ending and everything matters rarely convinces them to give it a go, because if you'll permit me...
The only reason why I don't watch One Piece is just the art style. That's it. I've seen the beginning when it aired on TV, but after a few seasons the art seemed to have shifted a little bit, and I'm not really the biggest fan of it. And you could say, oh really, that's the only reason? Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the only reason. Yes, I don't have that much time, so I prefer spending time on other things that I also like. But One Piece, the story was great. Was when I was watching it, and I know it is still very great. But I don't know, just the designs. I just can't get over it. I'm sorry.
To speculate for a second, I think the very fact that it is building toward an ending, that it expects them to invest so much into the world and characters just so they can say goodbye at the end, might be the most intimidating thing about One Piece. He held off on watching the only one he hasn't seen yet for years, solely for the comfort of knowing there'd still be some new Miyazaki magic out there for him. I'm not going to name names because I don't want anyone to feel bad, but I'm sure that me bringing that up will prompt plenty of comments from those of you who've done something similar, putting off an anime or manga or game.
Actually, I never done that. I don't mind things to end. I really don't. Like, if something ends, it ended. It is what it is. It's like, whatever. It's a show to entertain us. That's fine. I don't have any problem with the show ending. The problem is you having that sentiment for every single thing out there, that it's okay for a show to be never-ending. Or it's okay for a show to end and in a good way or in a bad way. I'd have no problem with a show ending or continuing. Of course, as like he said, we as humans don't want things to end, so of course if my show, favorite show, whatever, continues on till I'm old and wrinkly, I'm happy, you know? Even if it's watered down, I am happy. Or even if it ends, I'm like, damn bro, this thing just went on for so long and I'm happy to be there along the way. I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding the point of this video, because I am so confused. I mean, I understand him wanting for Dragon Ball to end, basically saying for Dragon Ball to end because Dragon Ball now has no real meaning outside of just fighting. I see no problem with that. Okay? I understand if you want Dragon Ball to be what it used to be, which was like adventures, having like kind of a goal like OG Dragon Ball. I understand if that's your desire. But the thing is, the old stuff is there. Dragon Ball Super brought a lot of bad things, especially to Goku, because Goku seems very dumbed down in Dragon Ball Super, and I don't like it. Of course, like most fans don't like it. But at the same time, like, I still see Goku as he used to be before, so, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm rambling a little bit too much, but this is kind of confusing me. But again, I like Super Dragon Ball Heroes, so I guess in a way, in his eyes, my points are invalidated. But well, and it's not because of the fighting.
I get that. Hell, I used to do that, but I
Really?
stopped doing it. So I started finishing things that I'd put off for ages, and conversely made a conscious choice to stop going with stories that I felt had reached their natural endpoints, like The Simpsons or every new Dragon Ball thing aside from the movies. If I do find
I mean, it's understandable.
craving more of those things, instead of seeking out the new, weaker filler, I'll
was
just go
fueled.
back to the old good
Yeah.
stuff to see what new meaning I can derive from it on a second viewing with deeper analysis, letting it end where the abridged boys did. I think
That's
they
like
made
the
right
fun
call.
part of a never-ending series. You kinda pick your favorite thing and you can watch it over and over. And who knows, maybe like in the future of the series, those kind of writings and plots can return. I mean, we don't know. The series still goes on, and there's always going to be a brand new episode that probably will spark your interest.
Not only have I found this approach, gives me a lot more time to actually live my life and experience way more cool new stories that the old me might never have gotten to, and actually get to the end of them. Not only does it...
For me, it's the opposite. Now it's the opposite. I have no time to watch new stuff. I used to have so much time to watch anime and learn new things and experiences, but now I kinda am in the opposite side of this guy, actually. Of course, I kinda don't mind seeing new things, but after a long day of work, you just wanna go to your room, just turn on your favorite show, and just watch it, and just go back and see that your favorite thing is still airing, Maybe it's not as amazing as it used to be, but it's still there for you. It's still there for your little comfort, It's a small guarantee for the time being, and I see no problem with that, to be honest. It just feels nice. Because with so much uncertainty in life and being bombarded by new things every single day, sometimes you just want to go back and stay with the old that you know.
Out of them. If we don't, the stories we're told might end up using us instead, milking our fear of finality to keep us hooked on an endless drip feed of plot turns and revelations that...
Why is that bad? This is what I've been trying to understand throughout this whole video. Why is that bad? I just don't really understand it. I mean, yes, of course you're profiting out of fear of things ending, but I personally don't see why is it so bad. Honestly, I just don't really get it. Like, again, I understand to some extent, but doing a full video about it, I guess I've done videos with less, but again, I see no issue. I don't know.
But you can start taking charge of the stories you take in and the story you're writing for yourself. All you gotta do is learn how to let Goku die. And
I don't understand what's this guy's problem. I really don't understand. I mean, he explained everything. A little bit convoluted and bizarre, in my opinion. I mean, let me know in the comments below what you feel about this, because I'm legit confused. I think there are some people out there who focus too much on fiction that becomes their reality. What was the controversy about? I remember people talking about the controversy and whatever, but after watching this, I don't understand anything. So basically, he's saying that Dragon Ball nowadays doesn't have a meaning. It's just profiting for the sake of profiting and using us as a way to make money. Just like every corporation, big surprise. Wow, But like I said, I don't think that every single show needs to be the same and always have a meaning and be new and be fresh and be, Again, I like Dragon Ball Heroes, not because of the mindless fighting, which some people like it because of that reason in specific. I just like it because of the timelines. And it gives more opportunity for characters to interact with each other or with new characters. And it can be entertaining because of that, because that's what I'm seeking. I like Dragon Ball characters because they're fun. And so if there is content that shows that, I go and watch it. And if the series goes on, I continue to see that kind of thing that I'm searching for. So, yeah, I mean, if Dragon Ball decides to end one day, I'll be like, this was a fun ride, Every good thing comes to an end. But at the same time, I I don't mind shows that seem to go on and will go on for eternity, you know? It gives opportunity for new people to watch the show that we love and grew up with, or we just enjoy, and then watch it or see when it all began. So I just don't see anything negative about the show continuing outside of dumbing down the characters. Big example, it's DBZ Broly. In the beginning, if you've watched the first movie Broly, there is a lot of interpretations to be made, and if you go on Twitter, you see people still interpreting the movie differently than it was before. Like, for example, recently, someone commented that the fact that Broly exploded, Broly didn't explode because Goku won. Broly exploded because his ki was overwhelming. He was like sort of balloonish. So Goku putting pressure on Broly made him explode. That was kind of the theory. I'll leave it on the screen for you guys to read if you want. So even till this day, we are still interpreting the first movie of Broly. But after that Broly movie, the second coming of Broly, and even in games, people dumb down Broly to the point that he is a husk of what he used to be. But the thing is, I will forever see Broly as the way he used to be. Okay, even if people nowadays see Broly as just being a mindless brute, I will always consider DBZ Broly to be the sarcastic, charismatic, strong villain that he was in the first movie. And I will always be happy to see Broly regardless, because that's always going to be my interpretation. But of course, they milked Broly so much that he lost the meaning of his own character. It's annoying, yes, but again, when you see a long-running series, those things are about to happen. Maybe except with One Piece, but One Piece from the beginning has always been made with a goal in mind. But with Dragon Ball, it's not the case, because the way it was built from the get-go wasn't to have that ending in mind, I think. Maybe it was to some extent, but for me it always felt like he came up with whatever came to his mind. So that's all for me for today. If you like Super Dragon Ball Heroes that is not just fighting, you can watch my playlist where I react to the anime, I talk about the manga. And hey, if you like also Dragon Ball series in general, some reactions, I also do that. So if you're interested in it, subscribe and ring the bell to not miss any single video. And if you want to support me a little bit more than just doing that, you can become a member like these amazing people on the screen. And with this being said, I hope to see you all on my next video short to stream, so stay tuned for that content, my friends.